हेलो हेलो गाइस, कैसे हो
It's
सब लोग?
nearly time for
वेलकम टू द
afternoon
स्ट्रीम।
tea.
सब ठीक? तो चलो आज की स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करते हैं। आज अपन ये एक्ट करते हैं, चैप्टर 3। एक्ट 1 करना है अपने को। तो अपन लोगों ने लास्ट स्ट्रीम में लियोए का सब कर लिया था कंप्लीट। लियोए ने आए इनाजुमा का। इनाजुमा अपना पूरा मतलब क्वेस्ट कंप्लीट हो गया था, वो राइडन शोगन वाला। तो अभी अपन सीधा सुमेरु जा रहे हैं। तो चलो सुमेरु का स्ट्रीम करते हैं। बाकी ऐसा सच तो मैंने कुछ किया नहीं, थोड़ा एक्सपी ग्राइंड ही किया था। 40 देख रहा था, अगर 40 किया तो कैरेक्टर और लेवल अप कर सकता हूँ। बट चलो तब तक अपने को उधर जाना है ना, मार्क पे। उधर मार के अपना। चलो फिर जाते हैं। नीचे के ऊपर है, ऊपर जाके देखते हैं। डोंट टेल मी नीचे है। हम इनको मार के, तो इनको चाहिए थे वो अपग्रेड के लिए। ये फंगल स्पोर्स ही, हाँ।
Scanning.
कावे के लिए चाहिए था। अरे फिर भी नहीं है। यही यही कैसे ही जाने में ऊपर है फिर अब। नो, पीछे गया। तो क्या है अंदर गुफा के? कंटिन्यू थ्रू फॉरेस्ट, ठीक है। उस साइड कैसे जाऊँ? अच्छा ये कोपचा है क्या इधर? नहीं। अच्छा पूरा क्या? गिर गए। कीप अनलॉक करके जाते हैं। चलो वो ये कैरेक्टर पसंद है, अगर आसपास अपने को ज़्यादा ट्रैवल करना है ना, मैं इसको यूज़ करता हूँ, मोना को।
This is
इस ये नॉर्मल कैरेक्टर से ज़्यादा फास्ट जाती है, ऐसा मेरे को लगता है। फास्ट ही जाती है। ये मैं इनाजुमा था ऑफलाइन, तो यही यूज़ कर रहा था इनाजुमा में, क्योंकि हाफ वाटर रहता है ना। तो हाफ वाटर में इसकी एफिशिएंसी ज़्यादा है भागने की।
Made it to Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali.
कुसनाली, ठीक है।
And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. But even so, people call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things.
ठीक है.
Even if we can't see exactly where
अरे
the city
common
is,
chest.
at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby.
अभी वो सीली ने शायद चालू किया उसे.
Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers. Hey there! We're not from around here and seem to have gotten a little lost.
Full ignore.
We'd like to ask for some... Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
सुमेरु लोकल इग्नोर किए कर दिया फुल.
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. Let's keep our distance and follow her. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions.
चलो through mist and the smoke, forest and dark. भाई चलो.
Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us.
अरे उधर क्यों है ना. क्या है इधर.
Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly vanished.
अरे ऊपर गई ना देखना. ये भी अंधा है आधे टाइम.
Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but it looks like that's not the case. Look, she's sitting over there. Wait, she couldn't possibly be living here, could she? What should we do now? All right then. It's not like we have anyone else we can ask.
चलो.
Oh. What a lovely smell. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all.
ओह इसको क्या फ्लैशबैक्स आ रहे.
Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? Strange. Paimon doesn't feel anything.
I've got to get out of here. चलो फिर. I think I'm gonna pass out. Oh, गिर गया.
What's happening? Traveler? This is no time for a nap. Oh, come on.
क्या गिर गया सीधा. ये किधर आ गया. ओह ये सुमेरु ही है बट क्या है. कुछ बता भी नहीं रहे किधर है अपन. ओह हेलो. ये क्या वो गॉड ट्री जैसा. वो भाई पार्कोर पार्कोर. क्या है भाई.
Are you sure it's not serious? The Traveler's been out for a long time now.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
ये कौन है.
Oh, are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at Good question. Where are we? Hyman was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is.
This is Gandharvaville. It was
Gandharvaville.
originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is
Indian
Polly.
name.
I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed
अरे
out when
कॉली
at
तो
the
है
job,
मेरे
so
पास.
we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up.
इतना मेडिसिन भाई नहीं लेना. मेडिसिन पे मेडिसिन.
Whoops!
अरे
Polly, what's the matter?
Dignary.
Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these.
Sorry, Master.
ये Dignary इसका मास्टर है.
Now, the guide to Avidia Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board, but if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes,
Time pass. चलो चलो आगे बढ़ो आगे बढ़ो आगे बढ़ो.
So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the
Tainari.
rangers here in
भाई
Gandharvaville.
Dignary pronounce कर रहा था.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training in meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as Spirit Borneal to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination.
बाप रे.
In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave.
बराबर.
The incense you smelled inside was the Spirit Borneal I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Very
that
good.
all makes
Now,
sense.
answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences, or did you see anything while unconscious?
Let me think. Describe what you saw while unconscious.
Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir.
Okay,
Now
ठीक
get a
है.
move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Wait, hold on a second. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yes, please.
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further observation while you recuperate.
Further observation?
But we need to get to
No
Sumeru
need to be
city.
hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to
तो
you.
करना
Based
explain.
on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again somewhere else. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky.
Okay.
For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own, at least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell.
All right.
Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right! Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worried. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be?
I don't know who could be. I'm not sure. When I saw the vision, it felt like as if I was standing deep underground. But the red sky, could it have been Kanria?
Well,
Oh,
considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations?
yes,
But
exactly. We
if
need to
that's
get the
the
bottom
case,
of this.
why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? Good idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and customs and...
चलो, you get a night of rest. ठीक है, मेरे को भी रेस्ट की जरूरत है, नींद आ रहा है.
Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
ये इसलिए मेरे को पसंद है कैरेक्टर से. मस्त स्विम करके जाओ.
All right, next let's see your right hand. But please remember that you still need to be careful.
Yes, I will. By the way, Master, I still haven't received the patrol route for today.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one.
But I have a vision too! Am I useless to everyone now?
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worrying about. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand around.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharvaville for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there! All right.
Yes, you can count on me.
So, Kale, what exactly are we going to be... Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps.
चलो भाई, pathway
Hi,
lamp.
Traveler, this way!
This way.
You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
ठीक है.
Scry the sky.
किधर है अपने को? हायर. हायर लोअर यही कर रहे हैं ये लोग. उधर जाना है. दिख गया. रुको पहले फोटो लेते हैं.
Nothing wrong with these two lamps.
फोटो.
Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make... no problems with this lamp. Good. The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm
No
sure
need
Master
to
wouldn't mind
worry,
if you don't
I'm-
clean the... Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard to reach. By the way, Kale, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You know, what's she like?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
दो तो डेंड्रो गॉड थे.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She
अच्छा.
created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, according to what Masters told me, the
अच्छा.
sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sarastana.
अच्छा.
Then
Okay.
what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened to...
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru.
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Yes, yes.
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Amber Outstreet.
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to
बराबर.
her strong sense of justice.
बड़बड़ सी
She's
बस.
ready to answer the call for
और कितना
action,
बात
and
करती है
if you
भाई.
ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the...
बराबर.
sorry.
We never seen.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure, you really like Amber.
Yes.
sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
Ah, so that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust. Really. I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendro Archon? So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy.
क्लाइम कौन कर रहा है? क्लाइम तो नहीं कर रहे हम.
Huh. Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small. Do you
Lowly
think she's
रहेगी.
supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
लेसर लॉर्ड
The
कुसनाली.
name does seem to fit the statue somehow.
लेसर ना, नाम में ही लेसर है.
Figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will... Nice work. That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Kale.
Let's go meet up with Collie. ओ
must be
बेटे
tired after
गेंशिन
all
का
that
बेस्ट आर्क
climbing.
खेल
Let's take a
क्या
little
रहा
break.
अच्छा
I brought some fruit and water for us.
बेस्ट आर्क है
Yay, food! What kind of goodies did you bring?
देखते हैं अभी
Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to
मैं भी
compliment
क्वेस्ट
your
कर रहा
chef
था
is to
आता
show passion for
ठीक है
their
चलेगा
food.
चलेगा आराम से
Youngling,
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them.
no, you dropped it on the ground.
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. But those pitas are amazing. You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef since you liked it so much. I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime.
डन डन दे
I'll
दे
even
Yay! Thanks, Kale. It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh.
So, Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. But Master's actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called... something?
अम्मू ये
Well,
अब्बू
anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad. Seems you already know him well. Anyway, I'm sure the sages were not. Master could obviously have a bright future in the Academia. But he
Chalo.
insists on sticking to the path of... In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that.
कितना
Oh,
बड़बड़ती है
speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. Paimon's still kinda upset though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little, but it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
भाई साला भाई चिल्लाता रहता है बस
Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this. It's time for some Paimonial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
ओ भाई क्या टच बिच कर रही है हेलो हेलो क्या कर रही है होली व्हाट्स द मैटर
Sorry, Kale. Paimon didn't mean to scare you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
मैं हरास कर रहा है वो
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Oh, well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharvaville.
चलो गंधर्वविल
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden?
क्या है बस इधर से उधर जा रहे हैं अपन बस कुछ नहीं कर रहे
Ah, Traveler, you've returned.
नासरीन
We're back! Have you seen Kale by any chance?
Oh, Kale? Yes, I saw her go into her room just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then.
ठीक है चलो मेहनत करो भाई, क्योंकि मियाँ की तो सब सुन लेते हैं, पर गरीब की कोई नहीं सुनता भाई। मोटिवेशन ऑफ द ईयर भाई। आई रिमेम्बर भाई, मैं कोट करके रखता हूँ भाई ये मोटिवेशन को। लेजिट कोटेबल मोटिवेशन दिया है तुमने भाई। अभी तो मेहनत करना पड़ेगा फिर ना। मोटिवेशन अभी भाई, अभी 75 हार्ड चैलेंज करना पड़ेगा मेरे को लगता है
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale.
ना।
I'm still
मोटिवेशन
trying to
एक साथ
figure
दे
out
दिया
what the
तुमने मेरे
problem
को।
might be.
यस भाई, थैंक्स भाई, थैंक यू
Ah,
भाई, मेरे को
it's you
थैंक यू
two.
बोलना चाहिए भाई।
I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tainari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick?
तो क्या हुआ
How
इसको?
could she be? Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No, no need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself.
लोग छोटी
I
होनी
suppose it's
देखकर
understandable,
शर्म
though.
आती है,
She
पर
hasn't been around anyone she considered a
छोटी
friend for
सोच
some
पर
time
नहीं।
now.
बराबर
It
बराबर
must
भाई।
have been refreshing for her
रियल
to
भाई,
have you
रियल।
two here.
So, Tainari, what's really wrong with Kale?
एकदम सोआनी बात।
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on her.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you were that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because... well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
एलिजार?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia.
अच्छा।
In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body,
Oh.
and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which
Oh
is
भाई।
precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
भाई
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care
अच्छा।
said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor.
हार्बिंजर
I
भाई।
have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them.
अच्छा।
However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Sad.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain
चैट
again.
देखो, अरे देखा भाई मैं आपको
Don't
बोला
worry,
भी,
Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
मैं बोला भी वो ये छोटी देखकर शर्म आती है बट छोटी सोच पर नहीं। देखा बड़ा मैं भाई।
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is
मैं
what led
देख
her
रहा
to
हूँ,
break down this
फुल
time.
मोटिवेशन ले रहा हूँ
As
एक
long
एक।
as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better.
हेलो
Though
हेलो,
I must admit
हाँ
that
सब
Kale's
मोटिवेशन सुन रहा हूँ
condition
मैं,
was much more
टेंशन
stable
मत
when
लो।
she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the
मैं
work
तो
of the
पेन पेपर
forest
लेके
rangers
बैठा
the
हूँ, सब
moment she
नोट
saw
कर रहा
us.
हूँ, भूल ना जाऊँ
I could
ताकि।
see that she was serious about learning, so I
वही
felt
वही,
compelled to ask her to join
के
us.
बाद भी एक चैट
Her
लिखा था,
stamina has gotten much worse recently, though a moderate amount of physical exercise
वो
is
छोटी
always
सोच वाला ही ना,
necessary. I'm
छोटी सोच
afraid
वाला
the
देखा
long
ना मैं,
distance patrols are a little too much for her now.
नहीं आया।
All right, now
एक
that
कुछ
I've told
छोटी
you
सोच
about
के बाद तो
Kale's
कुछ नहीं आया
past,
मेरे को।
I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help
All right, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering, like the traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every
अरे
instruction.
चल चल भाई, अब मेरे को मत सिखा।
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilot Pala lotus.
नीलो पाला लोटस, अरे ये मैं उठाया था लास्ट
Hey,
टाइम।
Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
नीलो पाला ये टीपी अनलॉक करके रखा था पहले ही, ऑफलाइन ग्राइंड का फायदा।
Nilot Pala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
गांडार।
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
चलो फिर वाटर में
You are
देखते हैं।
correct. The Nilot Pala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface.
ठीक है,
There should be Nilot Pala lotuses growing somewhere in this area. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
तो 4 मेरे पास थे पहले ही, 1 2। फ्रेश न्यू पालिता, लो भाई, उठा लो, सब उठा लो। 4 तो हो गए।
We've gathered enough Nilotpala lotuses.
नीलो
Let's
लो
head back to
पालिता।
meet Tainari. Hey, Tainari! We found the lotuses you requested.
Let me have a look. Good. I'm glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here.
यस
Hey,
यस,
Tainari!
क्या है बे?
Oh, Tainari! Someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? Let's go find out what's going on.
क्या तकलीफ है भाई तुम लोग को, बताओ। ये देखो, ये स्पीड की वजह से मैं इसको यूज करता हूँ बस।
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
विदरिंग जोन, ये क्या होता
The
है?
withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago.
कौन है भाई बीच में, स्टोरी के बीच में क्यों रिक्वेस्ट भेज रहे?
Can you tell me the...
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. so we didn't.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away.
ठीक है चलो
Kainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering.
अच्छा
The
क्या
affected
होता है
areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people.
ये
If you
विदरिंग
don't
जोन
carry
वो
a
स्वयं
vision,
जैसा
then
एरिया
you
है
should think
अच्छा
twice
वो
before approaching
चैजम
such
वाला अपन
places.
देख रहे थे वो
Yes, Amir is absolutely
yes.
right. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal
खराब
with it.
कलर
like
वाला
Kainari
वहाँ
here.
कुछ तो करके
Only
उसको
someone with a
सॉल्व
vision
कर
can
सकते
venture
हैं
within a
बट
withering
याद
zone
नहीं
and
कैसे
find a way
अच्छा
to deal with it.
देखते
But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements.
वाई
Seems the rumors about you were true then. In that case, all right. You two may accompany me. We typically
इसके
only
पास तो
teach
element
visitors
नहीं
how
है
to identify the withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville.
इसके पास किधर है
We'll make an
एलिमेंट है
exception
ये क्या
today
करेगी
and show you what it looks
म्याओ
like
म्याओ
up close.
यस सीमा म्याओ म्याओ कैसे हो
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there,
वाई
in the distance.
हाय इन द डिस्टेंस
Where? Oh, look! Those plants have withered. That
ओह
whole area is kinda gloomy. Oh, Paimon doesn't like the look of this.
That is the withering. All right, traveler. We're gonna have to enter that withering zone.
न्यू
Once
प्लेयर
inside,
हो भाई
we'll need to look for what we call tumors of the withering.
अभी ये
If
सुमेरु
we
को
eliminate
आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट कर
those,
रहा हूँ
then the area will be saved.
गच्चा
Thank
लेट्स
you.
डू इट
But I must warn you, don't push
मैं
yourself.
तो नया प्लेयर हूँ
This
अभी
is your
सीख रहा
first
हूँ
time handling this sort of thing, after all. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. You ready
ओके
then?
ओके
Let's go.
तुम क्या ओल्ड प्लेयर हो क्या टिप्स दो ये ओल्ड प्लेयर सही
First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
ये ऐसा ब्रांच हेल्प इग्नरी क्लियर विदरिंग इस पे कलेक्ट विदरिंग देन अटैक्ड हेल्प क्या बोल रहा है सब आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट खत्म होने तक लोग AR-50 पहुंच जाते हैं मतलब मैं भी न्यू प्लेयर हूँ 55 पे अच्छा रीचिंग इज वेरी इजी मैं अभी 39 पे हूँ फिलहाल मैं 39 पे हूँ मेरा ये इनाजुमा कंप्लीट अभी सुमे उठाने कलेक्ट द डेंड Collect the Dendro and then attack the withering branch. Charge attack. Dendro attack करना है क्या? रुको फिर Dendro member लेता हूँ पार्टी में. What character do you have? ये देखो characters इतने हैं अभी. फिलहाल तो इतने character हैं. Use charge attack. Okay. ये देखो. फिलहाल मैं मेन इतने कैरेक्टर है और मेन पार्टी ये यूज करता हूँ हम्म चार्ज अटैक नो क्या नो किस बारे में मतलब कैरेक्टर गलत लिया ऐसा
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
कोई इसको मार दे तो
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
ओह यू कैन डू विद एनी कैरेक्टर अच्छा ऐसा है क्या
Did it! Everything's returning to normal now.
मेरे को लगा डेंड्रो कैरेक्टर लगेगा भाई छोड़ो
Yes.
कोई ना
Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
ओके ओके
It's
नेक्स्ट
that
टाइम याद
obvious,
रखूंगा
huh? Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is
योर
leaving
अवतार इज
lasting
शेकिंग
effects
सो
on the
मच लाइक
rainforest
शी हैव
itself.
फीवर
For instance,
अरे वो
even
पता
though we
नहीं
cleared
क्या
out the
इशू है
withering
अवतार
zone,
का
many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the
वो
ecosystem
लाइक
itself.
रियल बॉडी
Many plants in the
करने का
rainforest
ट्राई
are
करता
already
है
in
रियल बॉडी
decline,
ट्राई करने का
directly
बट
impacting the wildlife that
इतना ठीक
depends
से
on those
करता नहीं
plants.
मैं
And
स्ट्रेट देख रहा हूँ
most
फिर भी
disturbingly,
बहुत शेक
as the
कर रहा है वो
appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
वो देखना पड़ेगा उसका क्या इशू है
But why's
मे बी मेरे
that?
को दूसरा ऐप
I'm
यूज
still
करना
not
पड़ेगा
sure of the exact reason. However,
नेवर
I've
नोटिस दैट
received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before?
मे बी भाई कैमरा इशू हो
Irminsul
सकता
is
है
a tree located
कुछ
deep
बॉस
beneath the
वगैरह
surface.
मारने में हेल्प
Although
चाहिए
it
तो
isn't like
बता
any
देना
tree
हाँ
we
ज़रूर
know in a
ज़रूर मैं
biological
तुमको ये
sense.
देता हूँ कोड
You
देता
can
हूँ ऐड
basically
कर लो
think
मेरे
of it
को
as a large tree that grows
अभी
downwards
फिलहाल
rather
आर्कॉन
than
क्वेस्ट ही कर
upwards.
रहा हूँ मैं
I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul,
हाँ ले लाइंस
spreading and
हाँ अपन
extending
ने
from a
किए थे
massive
ऑन
cavern
स्ट्रीम भी
deep
किया था ले
underground
लाइंस
all the
वगैरह
way up to the surface.
Spreading and extending massive caverns sound like a lot what I saw when I lost
Ley
consciousness in the
lines
cave.
continually
Yes.
absorb the memories of this world, which are then. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting
You
it.
mean
That's right.
yes.
My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevata's familiars a
रूका
long time
देवता
ago.
अरे
But
ये फुल
even
इंडियन
those
नेम है ना
mysterious creatures did not know of a cure
रूका
for
देवता
Irminsul. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
चलो गंधर्वविल ये देखो भाई ऐड कर लो मेरे को मतलब फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट भेज के रखो अपन खेलते हैं अगर बॉस फाइट वगैरह करना है ना साथ में करते हैं फिर आईडी देख लो स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो चाहिए तो हाँ चल के जा ग्रेटर लॉर्ड रुका देवता ये पहला डेंड्रो आर्कॉन था ना ऐसा कुछ तो था ना लेसर हाँ ये लेसर लॉर्ड दूसरा है हाँ ऐसा कुछ तो सीन था ना हाँ पहला ग्रेटर दूसरा लेसर और तीसरा बनेगा अभी वो क्या थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ ले लो This greater lord was old
Oh, Tainari,
yes.
you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. Huh?
लेसर लॉर्ड को भाव नहीं देते लोग। सैड भाई।
Oh no,
ऐसा क्यों?
Hypatia!
हाइपेशिया कौन है? बर्ड का नाम हाइपेशिया है।
What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you
योर
and
नेम इज
Paimon were
कानिकी
following
ओपी।
when you first
यस यस,
arrived in
इन गेम नेम
Sumeru.
कानिकी ओपी।
Oh,
अरे मेरा
her?
आईजीएन।
How could we forget? So did something
यस
happen?
यस, आईजीएन वही है।
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say?
लेसर
And
को
what's with that
लॉर्ड को
weird
भाव क्यों नहीं
expression on your
देते?
face?
डेंड्रो
Just
को
like Paimon
आर्को ने फिर
reads.
भी।
All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain.
आई सेंड फ्रेंड। ओके ओके,
After we
रुको, ये
brought you
इसके
from
बाद
Hypatia's
करता हूँ।
cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat,
ये
and
जरा
it
ये
appears
क्वेस्ट
she's
का चला
forgotten
जाए।
to prepare some rations. This letter is her
तूने
asking
कुछ
us for
किया
help.
नहीं इतना।
We need to
अच्छा,
go.
इसलिए यू विल नो द होल स्टोरी
What?
लेटर। अच्छा
You
अच्छा,
mean she's
ओके
been
ओके।
sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her, well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon,
हाँ हाँ,
Traveler,
अभी तो चालू किया
could
है,
you two bring these to her?
आज स्ट्रीम
Wait,
पे चालू
you
किया।
want us to bring her the rations?
राशंस भाई।
But will the traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
नो अनयूजुअल फीलिंग लाइक दिस। ये
Not feeling even a little drowsy?
यस, देख भाई, ये रिकवर भी हो गया।
Wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious?
What I saw were in hallucination. Were
That's
they?
correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you.
साला।
Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Ruka Devata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now
ये
that
कुत्ता
that duty
देखो
has
भाई।
fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now,
Yes.
after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned
So
my
what
confidence,
exactly
and
what
I no
it was
longer
I
feel
saw?
the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul.
Oh,
What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself.
oh भाई, अच्छा।
I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead.
Okay.
Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training.
स्पेशल
During
फेस
that
हुआ,
time, she
कुछ भी
must avoid
ट्रेनिंग।
communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment.
स्पेशल फेज ऑफ ट्रेनिंग क्या होता है? मतलब क्या चल तो रही थी, कुछ भी एड़ा बनाने का। भाई पंछी मस्त बैठा है। भाई तुमने वो कैरेक्टर का नोटिस किया? मैं भी अभी देख रहा हूँ भाई, वो ज्यादा ही शेक
Here,
कर रहा है
take
कैरेक्टर।
these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
चलो भाई, इधर जाना है, इधर जाना है, टीपी मार के जाते हैं, फिर हील भी कर लेते। कावे का हील कम था ना। उधर जाना है। ओ लेट्स गो।
Hypatia should still be in the cave.
हाँ नहीं करता हूँ अभी
Let's go inside and see how she's doing.
ये क्वेस्ट खत्म हुआ ना इतनी देर बात कर रहा था रुको अभी करता हूँ वो इतनी देर वो बात ही चालू था उसका ये करो वो करो वो यस सिमार यस यस एक्सेप्ट हो गया तो वर्ल्ड लेवल 8 AR 60 भाई ओ भाई मैक्स 60 मैक्स है ना 60 के ऊपर नहीं है आई गेस कुछ
Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
What was that sound? Yes, 60 is max. Okay, okay. भाई वो क्या है गिरी हुई है ऐसा फूक के सो गई हो ये क्या है पंगा है इसको मारना है क्या करना है इसको लोडिंग पे क्यों गया गेम और इतना क्यों लोड हो रहा है हाँ
There you are. Hypatia, are you alright?
तो हंगरी
So hungry.
भूख से
There's
मर
no
रही
way
है
we
बेचारी
can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around.
चलो भाई लुक अराउंड क्या है लुक अराउंड मिस्ट आ गया
Huh? How things out here end up looking like this?
ओह ये क्या है
And where are we?
देर रिलैक्स पाइमोन भाई चिल कर
Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the.
रिजरेक्शन एक्टिवेटेड मतलब कुछ तो डोमेन जैसा है अपन डोमेन में एंटर की कर दिए हाँ रे डोमेन में एंटर हो गया अपन अचानक से सीन
Wow, this place is huge. Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look.
रैंडमली मतलब
Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
रैंडमली डंजन में डाल अच्छा ये क्या जंप मारते हैं ये ऐसा क्या होता है ओ ये मत रे करने के लिए फिर नहीं है कुछ पर ही जाना है मतलब अपने को पर कितनी 30 अरे ये विजन जैसा दिख रहा था ना एक सेकंड के लिए मेरे को लगा ओह डोमेन एक्सपेंशन अरे ये इनाजुमा में आ गए ऐसा लग रहा है
Huh? What
किधर है अपन मैप में दिख भी नहीं रहे अपन किधर है करके
happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
हैक टू इनाजुमा वही वही बोल रहा हूँ सीधा जादू भाई ओ भाई फिर से डोमेन एक्सपेंशन मेरे फिर से रिटर्न चल रही है ऐसा लग रहा है वो गांजा मार लिया है बस उसने, हल्यूसिनेट कर रही है। अरे ये तो मनाली जाएंगे अपन। जब लेट्स गो। इधर भी रास्ता है, उधर जाओगे इधर जाओ, चलो क्वेस्ट के हिसाब से जाते हैं। अरे यार बंदे।
My.
मर जा भाई। ये कांटे मेरे को नहीं पसंद, पता है, लिटरली बहुत इरिटेटिंग है।
Gooba, get them!
Scanning.
Nice and spicy!
नाइस एंड स्पाइसी। चेस्ट मिला, ये क्या है? अरे यार मेरे को चेस्ट चाहिए था, मेरे को नहीं, ये नहीं लेना। चेस्ट मेरा, चेस्ट चाहिए था मेरा चेस्ट।
Keep going.
मेरा चेस्ट, मेरा चेस्ट, मेरा चेस्ट गया, मेरा चेस्ट गया। नीचे जाओ क्या? आ सकता हो फिर से नीचे जाएगा तो? क्या लगता है जाऊँ कि नहीं? जाऊँ, रिस्क लूँ? क्या बोलते? ये क्या इधर से उधर उड़ा रहे बस। बस इधर से आओ, उधर जाओ। एक्टिवेट। ये क्या फैंटेसी वर्ल्ड में? अरे फिर से डोमेन एक्सपेंड। बस भाई कितना दिखा रहे हो? अरे फिर से इनाजुमा। मेरे को अभी भी वो चेस्ट जमीन के नीचे दिखा रही थी।
What in Teyvat is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
कुछ नहीं भाई, मैं तो ठीक हूँ। इसको ज्वाइन करना था ना पहले, कुछ तो ऐसा था। हाँ। अरे ऐसा, ये गांजा फूक लिया इसने। हाय हाय हो गया बंदा। हिट। नशे भाई नशे। बस इधर से उधर घूम रहे, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है। जन्नत की सवारी कर रहा है बंदा। अरे फिर से लोड हो रहा है, ठीक है। इतना ऊपर भाई, इधर जा रहा है ये। अरे ये अबिस हेराल्ड, ये क्यों आया इधर?
Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you.
भाई 4 बार तो मार खा के भागा है और अभी बज रहा है इधर। ये ऐसा गेम रिस्की हो गया। हेलो, इज दिस फाइन?
Bow before the abyss.
Let's spark things up a little. Don't be such a brute. Here.
अरे चल, अरे चल चल भाई,
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
मर जा। एक सेकंड चैट पढ़ता हूँ, इसको मार लूं।
Sight clear.
शील्ड नहीं फूटता जल्दी। Are you really so ignorant or are you living in a complete denial? Ignorant. Ha, lol.
Doesn't get it! We faced others like him before. What's wrong this time?
Traveler. Though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your
क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं
good
क्या।
fortune was bound to end sooner.
सिमार भाई क्या बोल रहे हैं?
It's time you realize how weak and powerless
इग्नोरेंट तो हूँ भाई, तुमने नहीं बोल रहा। अच्छा हाँ पता चला, वो उसका डायलॉग बात कर रहे थे ना अभी सरल का। I still must find my
your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler.
हमारे स्ट्रीमर को क्या बोला जाए? अरे मुझे नहीं, वो उसका हेराल्ड का डायलॉग बोल रहा था वो। हाँ
Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon.
ए हेलो, मैं और मेरी बहन का बीच में मैं देख लेगा।
Family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
आजा, 4 बार तो घूम के मार रहा हूँ भाई, फिर से मारूंगा। रुक आजा। क्या है इसका? ये आधा टाइम 1 HP आ गया भागने का, 1 HP आ गया भागने का, मेरे को बोल रहे। साला नौटंकी साला। ओह ओह, व्हाट इज अप? रेंज हेराल्ड तो अभी नॉर्मल है। अरे बच्चा है भाई, वो बच्चा है।
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see how she's doing.
So sweet.
क्या
Well,
ये भी
the
नशे करके
news
सोई
is
है
that
भाई?
she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that?
यानी
Are
कि
you
ट्रैवलर की
okay?
लाइन तू वॉइस कर
That's
अभी।
really not like you.
हाँ वही करता हूँ, रुको।
Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make.
यस यस, तो ट्रैवलर तो बात भी नहीं करता भाई, क्या फायदा भाई। MCA स्टोरी का और बात ही नहीं करता।
Wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water. He
Yes, you get hypatia letter from Tignari. Choices और माइंड में जो बोल रहा होगा वो वॉइस मजा आएगा. अच्छा ओके डन डन ठीक है चलेगा चलेगा. मैं मेजोरिटी ऑफ टाइम चॉइसेस पढ़ता भी नहीं सीधा एफ दबा देता हूँ. जो पहला
I
चॉइस है वही.
see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
और टाइम पास ही आता टाइम तो.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh,
नशे वही नशे बोल रहा हूँ
I
मैं इसे.
seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
A kind of like a cabbage.
Oh? So you're able to
No,
see them
way
too?
too OP. Ha. Nara. Way too OP. Ha.
Wait, hold on a second, traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
वो तो मैं ऐसे ही नाम रखा है वे
I actually
तो
do
OP.
believe what the traveler is saying.
मेरे
I
नाम का
myself had a
एक्रोनिम है.
similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon.
ओ भाई फिर तो देखना पड़ेगा.
I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Ermin's soul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature.
भाई क्या ये?
They must have already been used to me
Dumpling
living in
लग
the
रहा है.
cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was
Oh,
convinced
bhai.
they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone.
भाई कौन था फिर?
I
पूरा
feel
गैंग था.
like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me.
What a fascinating creature.
Yes, no
It
doubt
is.
about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Ermin's soul.
Yes, yes. खाने को दो उसे पहले.
Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier. Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. All right, we're up, traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a
यार नहीं फिर से
Sounds
कुकिंग क्लास नहीं करना
good.
भाई.
I've never.
ये फिर से कुकिंग करना पड़ेगा यार. कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं मेरे को कुकिंग. सबसे वर्थ मतलब वर्थलेस बोल सकते हो. फालतू मेरे को लगता है. You cook some dishes over fire. अच्छा है. वो तो खुद बना दिया.
Use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we. Oh, it smells amazing. And the box.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte.
यस यस, ये ले भाई, खा ले, मजा कर. After a delicious meal together, you tell Hyphasia about
Even
connecting
though
with.
everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn ale for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with
भाई
Irminsul.
स्पेशल तो हूँ.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power.
भाई
Since
मतलब
the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth.
oh भाई, I think I understand.
Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload.
Oh,
Hence the adverse reactions.
अच्छा अच्छा.
Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though. It appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
अच्छा.
Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities.
अरे
Even if it
जलो
meant
मत.
suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life,
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
Yes yes.
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research
ये
is
देख
the
फिर से आ
stars
गया
and
देख.
their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers.
अच्छा.
Only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life.
उस सत्यवादा
Many
life.
researchers in
Nice.
Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine
यार दिया
knowledge,
देख रहा है ये.
and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone.
Whoa. So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous.
Yeah
Don't you
yeah.
ever feel afraid of the risk, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially
Hyphasia.
during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I
Nice
believe
nice.
that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the god of wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Huh?
Why?
Is that...
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do.
ये
The
ऐसा क्या
sages
सीन है?
say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical.
It was a big chaotic
Yes,
mess.
if one struggles with anxieties,
Okay.
those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly
Aranara.
saw a dream again.
Okay.
It was incredible.
Aranara
Though
नाम है
I
उसका.
don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recalled the feeling. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City.
ठीक है ठीक
So,
है.
do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. World, forget me. If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life.
ओ भाई,
I might have some
ये
more answers
ज्यादा
for
ही
you.
इंडियन रेफरेंस है.
If you
सत्यवादा
two are ever in
परिपूर्ण.
the area again, please be sure to come and see me.
Thanks,
There's no need
Hypatia.
to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Okay, you continue chatting before settling down for a good night rest. Okay, good night.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions,
Let's head back to Gandharva village. टीपी नहीं है, उड़ के ही जाते हैं. टीपी नहीं है तो और क्या ही कर सकते. अरे मत अटक भाई, किधर भी अटक. क्या है इधर?
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to
Gulam.
Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in some...
And, how long will I be
there's
No,
no
dear.
definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
चलो बाय बाय. Leaving तो leaving. ये क्या देख रहा है?
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are research. Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right! Tainari, we have something
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, she knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck.
चलो भाई, क्या इसका बात करते हैं, गुड बाय करके निकलते हैं इसको.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another.
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thinking we're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye bye.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember?
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both... Well then, I, trainee...
चलो सिटी में जाते हैं. सिटी का टीपी खोल के रखा था मैंने पहले ही. इजी वे इजी.
Race you!
चले अपने को से सिटी में लोग आते हैं, अपन अंदर से बाहर सिटी में जा रहे हैं क्योंकि फिर से सिटी में आना है.
Sumeru City! We finally made it. Oh, did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge.
बच्चे देखो.
After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, as long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
Okay.
It kinda looks like
like a leaf.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty god bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a May the mighty god bless us with their voice. Whoa.
ओ भाई
Just
स्कैनर
now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh,
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
चलो चलो
okay. Now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Surasthana. Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. Oh, come on! Ugh. Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't. Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it? Huh.
ये क्यों ऐसा आगे पीछे घूम रहा है सस्पिशियस लग रहा है मेरे को
You too? What? Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary. Well, he's from Sumeru, and even...
चलो भाई टाइम पास ही कर रहे भाई वो
Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far.
इट्स नॉट फार फ्रॉम हियर हम पहुंच भी गए फार फ्रॉम
Are
हियर
you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great. You see, Tainari sent us here, and
What? Tainari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
here, this is a letter from Tainari.
Oh, let me see. Oh, ooh, what a relief. You two nearly seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information.
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself?
यस यस
This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that?
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the sanctuary of Surasthana or made a public appearance.
ओके
Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is some...
Aw, but then...
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha. And take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years.
Okay.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want... Hey, come on!
टाइम पास
What do we do now? Even if... Huh? Like who?
एड एस्ट्रा एबिसस
You're right!
कैथरीन
Catherine!
इधर है एड एस्ट्रा एबिसर वाली इधर है
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood.
The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal...
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremite. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses.
Corps of 30?
Supposedly. They are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asphalt, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, if you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find... You're welcome. I wish you'd...
Alright, off to the Citadel of Razor we go!
Let's go.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand. We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way. Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously?
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, it isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
My God, मैं interested नहीं.
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late Greater Lord Rugadavada. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugadavada and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that, Paimon sort of feels bad for Lesser Lord.
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
Alright, well...
No problem. Always happy to help out the
Whew.
Seems Asfand was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanagi?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes, yes.
Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon. In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon.
Oh,
She
hi.
said, "Oh, Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you.
Oh, wow.
Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder."
Yeah, thanks for the story. Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two... I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
ये अचानक क्या हुआ? भाग गई? इतना तेरे तो कुछ नहीं अचानक.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened?
I think it was something to do with those people over
It
there.
looks like they're searching for someone. Dunyarzad was acting super nervous
या
just
हफ्ता
now.
लिया है क्या उन लोगों
Think
से?
they're looking for her?
हो सकता है.
This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali. We can't let them get in the way now. Let's see if
चलो
we can
मारते
get rid of
फिर
them.
आ जाओ.
Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
भाई एमरेड मर्सनरीज भाई ये मर्सनरीज क्यों है इसके पीछे?
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad.
दुनियाज़ाद क्या कर रही है? क्या मसला उसका? अरे फंस गया मैं निकल. अरे क्या किधर घुस रहे? अंदर है कि बाहर है? बाहर है शायद. एक छुप के बैठी. अरे हेलो.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me. Uh-oh, looks like there's some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. Look.
Let's trail the car. Enter the tavern. चलो नीचे भाई. चलो tavern में चलो. लास्ट टाइम वो डिलुक के tavern में गए थे. उधर तो पत्ते खेलने का गेम में चालू किया था एक. इजिप्शियन थीम जैसा लग रहा है, इंडियन तो नहीं लग रहा मेरे को ये।
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now.
वो कौन
Wait,
आया?
stand down, Dia.
दया, ये दया क्यों आई बीच में?
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
क्या है इसका?
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
Yes.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to, because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine, I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now.
Don't worry about it, my lady.
कितना टाइम पास यार इन लोग का फैमिली सेंट्रिक ड्रामा नहीं देखना मेरे को.
Our next topic of conversation. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
रेस्ट करने दो उसे. Trail of God of Wisdom. Rest in the tavern for a while. ठीक है, रेस्ट करते हैं हम लोग. हाँ. ओ भाई.
Well, if it isn't Dia. Haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself?
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
No need to break the bank. We'll eat whatever you order.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser Lord Kusanagi.
How about our charcoal-baked Agelena cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. Hey, come on! Paimon has
Order continue and lesser blah blah blah.
We asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanagi. So, what made you want?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be
Oh,
scared.
why?
You don't have to cry. Who are you? How do you know? How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you. Really? Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt. Wow, you really do know everything. Dunyarzad, is there anything... What? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything. Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen. But can you make my illness go away? Oh. I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now. Then can...
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend." Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness.
What's the Sub-Zero's?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed, I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. But because of the Academia's influence, the Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death.
Aww.
It is. It's absolutely sure the Greater Lord founded Sumeru. But hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zero's festival to this day. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilou?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face.
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilou sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilou to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today.
Sure, that's quite the trip though.
No, that would be too much.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk...
But of course. Nilou will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in...
चलो गाइस फिर स्ट्रीम एंड करते हैं आज के। इतना आज 2 घंटा स्ट्रीम हो गया, ऑलमोस्ट 2 घंटा होने हैं। बाकी का नेक्स्ट स्ट्रीम पे करते हैं। चलो बाय बाय, सी यू गाइस सून।